So I spent my entire weekend playing Dead Island 2 thanks to free play days. This isn't, an ad for free play days or for Xbox, but I always like the idea of free play days because it gives us the players a chance to try games that might have been interesting to us at some point. We weren't sold on them entirely enough to buy them. Be it, bad history with previous title, unknowns, prices, whatever. This is also why I like Game Pass. Allows you to play games you would be hesitant on playing. Anyways, Dead Island 2 was free to play from Thursday till Monday, and outside of Halo and FIFA, FC24, it was all I played for 4 days, and that surprised me because I wasn't really a fan of the first game. I only touched it when friends would bug me about it and beg me to play the game. Outside of Resident Evil, I'm not really big into zombie games, which again should scream just how good games like Days Gone is when someone who doesn't really care about the zombie genre finds it a fun or good game. Says the game is fun and good. Thing is, Dead Island 2 made me want to make this video. It made me want to talk about it because Dead Island 2 was a very hyped up game. I wasn't a fan of the first game. It was popular and well received. Dead Island 2 took over 9 years to get made and released. It had 3 different developers. Yes, it's one of those games that get stuck in limbo and development hell. It released with the whimper, in my opinion. Most of its review scores were 7s, which isn't bad. 5 is average, still 7 is a pretty good score to get. But pretty much after the first month of the game's release, or even less than that, we stopped hearing about Dead Island 2. It kind of just released, and that was it. And this isn't surprising. I think the zombie genre is in a slumber right now. A few years ago, it seemed like there were zombie games everywhere, but lately, not so much. And the ones that do release aren't very good and get ignored. You have to be Resident Evil or Last of Us to be a successful zombie game right now. And both of those games aren't actually about their zombies. Infected are just enemies you face in those games. Their story and their gameplay is what people play them for, as well as their characters. They have massive characters like Leon Katie, Claire Redfield, Ada Wong, and Jill Valentine, and Chris Redfield. You have Abby, and you have Joel, you have Ellie, and you have all those other characters. The characters and the story is why people play Last of Us and Resident Evil. Other zombie games don't have that. They don't have the story. They don't have the individual characters people are invested in. And I feel like that is why games like Dead Island 2 and even Back 4 Blood struggle to stay relevant. Most zombie games aren't trying to be good story-driven games. They aren't trying to have a captivating writing, emotional voice acting, or strong human elements, and be a memorable single-player experience. These games are made with co-op in mind, and more often than not, games with co-op in mind tend to skip out on delivering good storytelling content. They just turn into gore corn. It's kind of funny, like putting gore corn together. For those who don't know, corn is a safe word for YouTube for another word. If you know, you know. Anyways, repetitive hack and slash games with passable gunplay and story that lacks substance or meaning to the player. That's what the co-op zombie game generally, devolves into. Now, this isn't to say that this video is going to be me, taking a dump on Dead Island 2 because I enjoyed the game. During my time playing, during the free play days, I couldn't stop playing it. I beat, the main story. I was hooked on it. It's a very fun game. Its gameplay loop is entertaining. The story is background noise like most zombie games, which is unfortunate. I can't talk much about the characters because I only played as Amy, and her voice acting sounds pretty good. She has a very familiar voice that if you play games like Xenoblade Chronicles, you'll be familiar with her voice actress. If that's her name, I didn't look it up for the script for this video. Apologies. But she sounds phenomenal. So I can't judge her compared to the other characters because you only play as one character and you don't interact with the other characters who exist in the game when it comes to, because you pick between a number of characters, and those characters who you don't choose, you don't see them in the game. So you don't get to interact with them unless you're doing co-op. Backgrounds for these characters is a quick read. You don't learn about them outside of reading summaries of the characters before selecting them. Which I understand, but me being me, someone who likes, more story, more cutscenes, more everything for exposition and world building and character development, I would want more than, just some summaries. The game has the usual generic zombie game tropes as well as the usual post Left 4 Dead zombie types. You got your runners, your screamers, your tanks, your bloaters, the speedy boys with knives. It's all there, all the generic zombie types. They reuse those types in the game from different areas. So, a CDC area will have those type of zombies but dressed as CDC. Military areas will have those type of zombies but dressed as military, and so on. In terms of game length, obviously how long it takes to beat will be based on how fast you yourself do things, as well as if you care about challenges, side quests, etc. There was 24 main story missions, 33 side quests, 15 lost and found, which is basically a side quest where you go around looking for missing people and who end up turning it into being like named zombies for you to face. There's also challenges, which is about 84 of those. So again, how long the game is will be based on what you care to do. If you're someone who just want to play the main story, then you just have those 24 missions to do and you'll get through the game pretty quickly. You know, if you're someone who want to get everything done, obviously you'll spend more time playing the game. As for weapons you have access in this game, there's a decent variety of the usual types, you know, assault rifles, shotguns, machine pistols, revolvers, regular pistols, you know, knives, you know, pull cues, hatchets, you know, the usual. The game does, you know, lack bows, which I think is weird when games don't have bows, especially these type of games, you know, survival games, zombie games. Bows are perfect for these kind of worlds. There's a crossbow in the DLC or as a DLC weapon, neither of which I have access to, but generally you would think something like crossbows and regular bows would be more common in zombie games and you know, survival games, especially after like the success of Walking Dead, where you see characters like Daryl who has a crossbow and you see how useful it is to have something like that in this kind of setting where you're basically you can use your arrows as long as your shafts aren't broken. Not to mention, if you need more arrows and you're using like a bow, go to a tree, make a freaking arrow, get a stone or some glass, make it a tip. Anyways, I do wish melee weapons have their own animations though. Say you find like a bow staff, the game does have bow staffs in it. The animation for it is the same as, you know, a makeshift glaive or the pool cues. It'd be nice if there was like more of like a monk kind of like style kind of usage with the bow staff instead of just, you know, something generic. But hey, it's just that's a small little nitpick, not a big deal. Anyways, if I had to point out flaws, it would be, you know, the expected ones. Not good enough or not interesting enough story. No iframe. So if your character does a finisher and there's more than one enemy, you will take damage. Yes, that means you need to be smarter about when you do finishers or even charge attacks, because charge attacks will also automatically slow down the game and also act as a finisher, which can allow you to get hit for free. Another flaw will be the lack of interactions with the other playable characters. You don't see them past the opening segment before picking your character. Would be nice if they were, you know, part of the game regardless of who you pick. Maybe as like temporary companions you do, you know, missions with or help them out. Like, hey, let's say like, you know, the guy with the dress, forgot his name. Sorry, I forgot so many characters' names. Let's say like he's doing something in Venice Beach and he needs your help. So you go out there and you help him do it, and that's it. And you do that with the other pickable characters as well. Again, this is a small nitpick. I didn't do co-op, so I'm sure in co-op friends play as the other characters that you don't pick yourself, but still there should be a presence in single player of the other characters who you can play as. Though the game's story isn't gonna blow anyone away, I do think the story towards the end is solid enough and had me, you know, hooked a bit and was very interesting. Again, the overall, you know, story itself, it's just background noise, but towards the end, I did start finding myself interested in what was actually going on with in the cutscenes and with the dialogue. It ends up being obvious sequel bait. Maybe they wrapped it up. Maybe they wrapped up how the game ends in the DLC. I don't know. I haven't looked into the DLC of the game. You know, I beat the story and then made this video, which means it left a lasting impression if I felt the need to talk about it. No one makes videos about things they don't care about. No one makes videos about something that doesn't pique their interest, especially me. I'm someone who gives you all my honest reaction, my honest opinion. Everything I say is just what I feel. Some of y'all don't agree with things I say, and that's cool. But generally, I make videos about things I care about. If I'm making a video about something, I'm not trying to get like any kind of bandwagon, like hate bandwagon, you know, because there's people out there who make content on like this kind of off topic and a little rant. But there's people out there who make videos on YouTube that they don't even like really agree with. They just make it because it gets some views. So, you know, there's the hate bandwagon where they just make videos about negative stuff just because people are, you know, negative about it and they get some views. People who are very, very positive about certain things, and it's not because they actually think that way, it's because they want to be on this positive bandwagon where all the people who love those things will sit there and praise it and cherish it. For me, I try to give you guys what I feel like. My opinion isn't based on what you say in the comments. I'm not going to change what I say because you disagree or you agree. This is just what I feel, what I think. So if I make a video, that means that game or that conversation or that video had a very big impact on me. It left an impression to where I felt like having a conversation about it. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to videos like this, it's a conversation. I do hope there's another game, and I hope they build on what's good here. I do think the 7 score many outlets gave it is fair. Again, 7 isn't bad. We live in a time with review scores where people assume anything that isn't a 9 or 10 is bad. Remember, folks, a 5 is average. A 6 is above average, and a 7 is good. Review scores in general are arbitrary. They are, for the reader, the viewer, and then the marketing team. So the marketing teams can put those all over their ads, like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, all those kind of things for their advertisements. But outside of that, it's just a number. There's a lot that can go into why someone does it. There's like a game. It can be so many small details that might be a big detail for you, but small for them. You might hate something that they like. There's just a lot that goes into any kind of piece of cinema, like be it video games, be it, I'm saying entertainment, be it video games, TV shows, comic books, movies, whatever. People look for different things because we're all different. We're all individuals. We all think differently. We all respond to things differently. So the number is arbitrary. But the reasons is what I think people should lean more into. And Dead Island 2, in my opinion, is a good game. If you miss a chance to play it during free play days, but you're interested in zombie games or just want something to pass time, then I do recommend you play this game. I do recommend you get it on whatever platform you're on. Whether you're on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation, try to play the game. I'm pretty sure at this point it's probably not big in price, and usually on Xbox at the free play days, they tend to put it on sale, so it might be on sale when you're watching this video. If this video comes out, hopefully on Tuesday or Wednesday. Right now it's the 19th, so that'll let you know if the video came out in time. But anyways, that is it for me. That's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Y'all stay safe. If you come to another, follow me on Twitch. The link is below in the box below. We might do a YouTube stream as well sometime at some point. We're getting there. We're getting there. We hit the big 500 when it comes to our YouTube growth, and we have to get like the viewership into like the monthly viewership into order, and then we're getting partnered. Like, your boy is actually growing here on YouTube, and I'm very thankful for you guys who are sticking with me and things of that nature. As I said, I hope you all have a good rest of y'all day. Y'all stay safe, and your boy Nubis. I'm out of here. Deuces.